Hey guys, welcome back to another video. This time a video response to a great YouTuber here in the community, FabryLON, which a couple of weeks ago he made a video with his ideal RPG party, and I thought I'd do a video response because it's a very interesting topic. I don't think I've seen this type of subject or question in other videos around the community here. So again, I thought I'd do a video response, and hopefully some of you guys can join because I know a lot of my friends here on YouTube are pretty big RPG enthusiasts, just like FabryLON is. So I'm gonna be leaving a link to his video if you guys want to check it out, to his channel as well. And without further ado, let's just jump right into my list. FabryLON, in his video, he picked 10 different characters for his party. I'm gonna try and keep it a little bit shorter in my case, and I decided to go with 6 characters. And my number one choice is, of course, if you guys have followed my channel, you know that I'm a pretty big Xenoblade Chronicles fan. It's one of my favorite RPGs of all time, so I had to pick Shulk from Xenoblade Chronicles. For one, he wields the Monado sword, which is one of the most powerful weapons in any video game. It's a very versatile weapon. It has different powers. And another thing that I liked about as far as the fighting and mechanics of Shulk is that he can also heal. He has a healing art that you can use in the game to heal either Shulk or your party members, which I thought it was a pretty cool feature, because in other RPGs, in other games, sometimes you need to have like a specific healer in your party to do that job. But in Xenoblade Chronicles, Shulk can do that. Of course, you can add Charla later in the game. She's kind of like the quote-unquote official healer. She has a lot of arts that are related to healing, but Shulk does have that power, which is I think it's pretty cool. And of course, minor spoilers here. This happens very early in the game in Xenoblade Chronicles, but through the power of the Monado sword, Shulk can also foresee the near future, which is a fantastic ability to have in your party, because you can foresee the attacks of the enemies or the bosses. You can foresee critical hits, and you can prevent certain things from happening, which is again a fantastic ability to have in your party. So I think Shulk definitely is a very solid choice for my party, and he's my number one pick. My second choice was Milla Maxwell from the Tales of Xillia games. She's obviously one of the 2 main protagonists of the Tales of Xillia games, and she's basically the incarnation of Maxwell, which is the Lord of Spirits. And in Tales of Xillia, of course, she doesn't have her full powers, but once she does, towards the end of the game, she's obviously extremely powerful. She can wield the power of the 4 spirits. And what I really like about Milla Maxwell is her character. She obviously is incarnated in a human form, but she is, she basically represents the Lord of Spirits. So in her human form, she doesn't really have feelings or a set personality. She has a very cold, putting feelings aside type of personality, which I think is a very important asset when it comes to making difficult decisions. She can be very cold-headed and just make decisions without having feelings get involved in the way per se. So Milla Maxwell is my second choice. I think she's a great character, and she is my second choice. For number 3, I decided to go with Stoke from Radiant Historia. Of course, he is the main protagonist of the game, and he is a very quiet and serious type of character. But what really stood out for me is that when you start the game Radiant Historia, he's introduced as a very skilled spatial agent already. He has a ton of abilities, and he's very skilled, and which is why he was chosen to perform this task. And usually in RPGs, you start off as a cowardly character, or a character that doesn't know anything about fighting, or you're the chosen one somehow. But in Radiant Historia, I really like the fact that you already start as a strong character. You're being told that he's a very skilled type of agent, which I thought it was a pretty cool thing. And of course, he can wield the Book of the White Chronicles to jump back and forth in time, which is a very important feature or asset to have in your party. So that's another very important choice in or ability to have in your party. For my number 4 choice, I decided to go with Seth, which he is from the Fire Emblem, the Sacred Stone games for the Game Boy Advance. And every Fire Emblem game has a paladin type or cavalier type of character. Well, Seth is he's the general of the Knights of the Kingdom of Renais, and he is just an elite paladin that you start the game with, and he is probably the most overpowered paladin. I know it's kind of like a common occurrence in the Fire Emblem games to have a overpowered character at the beginning to kind of help you out. I know in Fire Emblem Awakening, for example, Frederick was the one that was really overpowered and things like that. But Seth, he starts being overpowered and he remains like that for the entirety of the game. Usually in other Fire Emblem games, if you have a character that's really strong at the beginning, he won't level up and his experience and statistics won't improve a whole lot. But Seth, he keeps improving and he just becomes a beast. So he is kind of like my quote-unquote tank choice. He can just take the lead, take the charge, and just go out there and kick some ass on the line of duty. And obviously another characteristic of him is his personality. He's very polite, he's very calm, and he's very honorable. So he's another important character to have in a party, which is why I decided to choose him. As number 5, we're gonna go a little bit back in time and to one of my favorite games from the 16-bit era, Super Mario RPG. And I picked Gino, which is a very odd character in the sense that he never made any appearances. He was obviously created by Squaresoft, to be part of the Super Mario RPG game, and he is a character that blends very well with the Mario universe, in my opinion. And of course, he is in the game. I really liked his look. When I first played that game back in the day, I really enjoyed his design. But of course, you have to admit that he's a very powerful character. He almost plays the role of a wise man. He gives you like great advice during the game, and of course, like I said, he has a very powerful attack that involves shooting projectiles from his arms, and his special attacks are energy blasts that take a ton of damage. I think if I remember correctly, he has the most powerful attack in the game if you time it correctly. So Gino, it's one of those characters that I don't think that he ever made any appearances on modern Mario or games or anything like that, but it's one character that I have very fond memories, and I really liked his character style and everything. So he's my number 5 pick. And my last pick for number 6, I had to do it, guys. I had to pick a Pokemon because Pokemon is one of my favorite RPGs, and I'm talking about the Generation 1. I have many fond memories of playing Pokemon, obviously, and this is more of a, I guess, nostalgia-based decision because I know there are more powerful Pokemons out there, but I decided to go with Alakazam, which is a psychic type of Pokemon. He's very powerful for being a psychic character. In the Generation 1 Red, Blue, and Yellow games, obviously if you face against a ghost type, you'll be in trouble. But for the most part, he's a very solid character. He can confuse enemies. He can do psychic attacks that take a lot of damage. And again, as long as you're not facing any ghost type of enemies, he was a very powerful character to have. And again, this is not perhaps the best choice as far as party member. There are more powerful Pokemons out there, like the legendaries, like characters like Mewtwo, Mew, Celebi. There's plenty of characters that have stronger stats than Alakazam, but again, it was mostly a nostalgia-based decision because he was one of my favorite characters, and of course, he was part of my core party that I used to beat the Elite Four, and of course beat my rival at the end of the game. So many fond memories of playing with Alakazam in my party, and which is why I decided to pick him as number 6. So that's it, guys. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Again, feel free to leave a video response to FabryLON. Hopefully you enjoyed the video. Thank you for watching, and I will see you all later.